Hi. You ever wonder why nobody trusts anybody in your organization? Well, today we're going to find out. Why does nobody trust anybody and what can you do to fix that? Stick around. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Courage Economy chapter episode 9, I think. This one is going to address trust, the fourth pillar in the Courage Economy. Trust is an outcome. It's not something that you make. It's something that proceeds from what you make. Before we start, hey, like, subscribe, hit the little bell, share this podcast with anybody who you think might be interested. We're trying to start a bit of a movement here, destroying the lie economy 1 liter at a time. The courage economy is the antidote to the corporate lie economy, which I'm sure that you guys are sick and tired of working in, and would much rather work in a courage economy. So, trust. Trust is this thing that everybody talks about. We got to have more trust. We're going to build trust. We'll have a team build. We'll have trust falls. We'll create, fake engagements to build trust. When I say it like that, obviously you're like, well, yeah, of course that's a dumb idea, because it is a dumb idea. Trust is not something that can be created in a team build. Trust is not something that can be created in a trust fall. Trust is not something that can be created artificially. Trust is an outcome of, and here, wait for it, here's the definition: consistent truth telling under pressure. Trust is the outcome of consistent truth telling under pressure. If I ask you, where'd you go to the restaurant? Where'd you go to dinner last night? And you told me Olive Garden. That's probably true. I have no reason to think that it's not true, because it's a completely unthreatening question. There's no cost to telling me the truth on that. If I asked you, what do you think of this new initiative that they're doing? Now, there's potentially a cost associated with that. If you say, I think it's a dumb initiative, then hey, I might go around and tell somebody that you said that, unless you trust me. So when there is a cost to be paid potentially for telling the truth, then you have to wonder, is the truth being told? And environments that live and work in a lie economy, trust is a rare thing. There are probably a few people you trust, and the reason you trust them is because you have demonstrated consistent truth telling under pressure. You have seen that they will tell you the truth even when there's a cost or a potential cost associated with it. Organizations in a lie economy, the biggest gap they have is trust. And there's a slew of research, as we all know, that basically says teams that trust each other are X% more effective, right? They're better at innovating, they're better at collaborating, they're better at communicating, they're better at solving problems, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so that's why everybody talks about, we got to build trust in the organization. We have to have psychological safety, right? Psychological safety actually is an outcome or a derivative of trust. You can't have psychological safety if you don't trust that you will be sort of taken seriously, or that you will not be berated for bringing up an objection or calling out something that you see that's wrong. So trust and that outcome of trust has to be built through the first three pillars of the Courage Economy framework. Work on something important enough that the truth is the rational choice. So the sequence matters here, right? You can't just jump to trust. Trust is an outcome. So first, let's build trust by what? Working on something important enough where the truth is the rational choice, where a lie is unacceptable because it's important enough. Engage with that important work with a sense of curiosity, right? You disagree with me. That's okay. Tell me why. Tell me why you think the way you think about that, because I might be wrong. And I am open to the possibility that I do not have all the information and that I may have a perspective that is not fully informed. And then challenge the third pillar, challenge the crap out of each other. I think that's a dumb idea. Or more politely, I don't think that's a good idea. And here's why. Please tell me why you think that is a good idea. Because I'm invested in the outcome, and I hope you are too. And so that challenge is not, I think you're stupid. It's, I am concerned about the outcome because this work is important. And so I am going to, if I see something that I think is wrong, I'm going to challenge it. And you will too. And in the wrestling of that, right, in wrestling with that idea, in a high stakes environment, and that we're curious and challenging each other, and that we are consistently telling the truth under pressure, over time we begin to trust one another. And when we trust one another, we may have the opportunity for the fifth pillar, which is another outcome, community. A group of people who care about the work and hopefully about each other. I talked to a leader one time, and it was an organization that had various departments. And I said, he said, everybody's concerned about their metrics, their departmental metrics. Operations concerned about their metrics. Maintenance is concerned about their metrics. And of course they are, because that's what they're measured against. When you get to the point where you have that kind of community, I am as concerned about your metrics as I am about mine. Because the success of the organization is not that operations is successful and maintenance is not. That doesn't work. The organization is not going to be successful. The important work will not be accomplished. And so if I'm director of operations, and I should care about the metrics of the maintenance department and the engineering department and the marketing department and whatever other department, because we are all trying to accomplish some important thing. So that's where trust comes from. And that's where designed productive struggle is so important, right? Like like we've said, keeping the trains running on time is not important work. It's necessary work, but it's not important as we define it. Important as we define it is something that meaningfully moves the needle. We want to get from here to here. And in order to do that, we have to do X, Y, and Z. We have to accomplish X, Y, and Z. That's important work, right? And the here to here matters in some way. So I've had pushback like, well, what if, I run like a call center or something, or people just doing necessary work. That's just their job. And I'm like, well, if you don't have anything important as we define it, and that's okay. Like maybe you do have an organization where you don't have actually anything that this group of people can do that can significantly move the needle. Well, you're probably going to have some form of a lie economy, because courage economies don't exist without that kind of important work. And so managing a lie economy is kind of a different thing. And look, don't get hung up on the word lie economy. It's just an organization that is where the truth is often more expensive than telling a lie or softening the truth or glossing over something or kicking the can down the road, right? So, but if you have an organization and you literally can't think of anything important as we define it, well, then I don't know what to tell you. I mean, you have to have something important. If you want to do something in your market, whatever market you're in, you have to do something important. If you want to differentiate yourself, then you have to do something that differentiates you. And that is obviously hard, difficult, and important work. And as we've said in our quadrant chart, the difficulty importance matrix, right? If something is difficult and important, the outcome of that is that people tend to be willing to pay the potential cost of telling the truth because it's important. They're curious. They challenge the crap out of each other. And because it's difficult, they get a sense of accomplishment, pride, and achievement out of its accomplishment. So the reason why there's very little trust in your organization is probably A, because you're not doing important work. You're not fostering a culture of genuine curiosity and a culture of genuine challenge. And when I say genuine curiosity, I mean, like, if you're a leader and you're like, what does everybody think about this? You're literally asking what they think about it, not agree with me. Or if you say something that tends to disagree with me, I'm going to be, not happy with you. That's not curiosity. That's not a courage economy. That's a lie economy. That is pretend curiosity. So genuine curiosity, genuine challenge, and then you may get trust. Doesn't come any other way, right? Think about who you trust in the organization. Who you really trust. It's people that have been telling you the truth consistently under pressure, when telling the truth might have a cost, but they say it anyway in the service of the important work. Okay, let's see. Couple of housekeeping points here. The book, The Courage Economy, Why Your Company Runs on Lies and What You Can Do About It. Release date, October 15th. It's available for pre-sale right now. I'll put a link in the comments below if you want to get on the bandwagon. Meet me at Substack. I'll put a link in the comments below. Meet me at LinkedIn if you want to go to LinkedIn. Meet me at belomoleadership.com. All the links will be below, as well as the pre-read. Again, like, subscribe, hit the button, share with your friends. Let's get rid of the corporate lie economy, one leader at a time. Thanks, everybody. Have a great one. Bye.